Ready?
Yep.
Okay, what I'm going to talk about is internet websites and chat rooms that are not safe for children and how they're not safe for children. At the end of my speech, I want you guys to get out of it that in the future when you have children, you know, maybe you have little brothers and sisters laying around, I don't know, whatever. When they go online, make sure you're supervising them. Predators go online specifically just to prey on children in these certain circumstances. So you have to be extra careful and put up protective firewalls and parental controls and all that other stuff. For instance, how many of you have heard of AIM, Yahoo Messenger, MSN Messenger, Facebook, Twitter, whatever else there is out there? And then, you know, a lot of us have used them as growing adults. We use them to communicate with maybe old friends from high school we've lost track with, maybe new friends we've made here in college, you know, along those lines. Younger kids are going on them, and with the intentions that we have, they're using them to talk to their friends. But what happens is these either sexual predators or any other predators of these sorts that are trying to prey on younger kids between like 10 to 15 or 16, they're going on there to find them in particular. So that's where their issue comes in. You have to be careful if you're under 18 and you're using these sites. The purpose here is the internet websites and chat rooms are not safe for children due to a variety of problems that can occur with their use. For example, only 1/3 of households with internet access are actively protecting their children with filtering or blocking software. And that's straight from the Center for Missing and Exploited Children. So it is becoming a huge issue around these days. So much so that children are becoming missing, they're getting sexual abuse caused due to it, and other stuff. And then 77% of targets online for predators were age 14 or older, and then 22% were 10 to 13. So they're aiming for the younger crowd. They're not going to be aiming for probably 18. The people who are looking for them are looking for the younger ones. It's the way their minds work, what turns them on. Today I'll outline you what online enticement is, the dangers that can be caused by it, warning signs to look out for your children, and a potential solution that can help it all. Online enticement is the use of internet to entice, invite, or persuade a child to meet for sexual acts or to help arrange such a meeting. This is a serious offense. It gets prosecuted if you actually go through with the acts. I think it's Dateline NBC actually did this thing where they had pretend online, they pretend to be 14, 15-year-old girls, and they're talking to these older predators, and they invited them over to the house. The predators will actually show up at the house with the intentions of sleeping with the younger children. And, you know, when they showed up at the NBC house, they obviously got arrested and didn't go through with it. But they had an actual younger, not under 18, but she looked under 18 girl who was there. So the predators walked in the house with the intention of sleeping with them, and that's how they were able to arrest them, because the intentions were there. They made the effort to go. The risks for children who actually do meet people who they talk to online, they meet them in person, it's going to be a very rare chance it's going to be a real person your age. A 10-year-old's thinking they're talking to maybe a 12-year-old, two people 2 years older than max, about what their age ranges they're going to talk to. But in reality, they're talking to a 30, 40-year-old guy who just wants to sleep with them. Teenagers are also susceptible to it because the parents allow them to go on the computer unsupervised, thinking if they're older, they're not going to have any issues with it. You know, they know, don't talk to this person, do talk to this person. With online enticement, the teenagers are actually more susceptible because they will openly talk to a stranger about their sexual lifestyle, their relationships, and everything of that sort. But opposed to a younger child who probably won't be as open to talk about that, the online enticement part gets them because they're able to, they will trust someone more easier, and they'll provide personal information such as where they live, you know, their first and last name, a phone number so that somebody can call them. It's a lot more risky for a whole family if a child's in it opposed to a teenager where it's just risky for themselves. And then the predators who are looking for these children, they will use email, instant messages, bulletin boards, chat rooms, and they'll even go to specific, they have created specific child websites and child chat rooms, and the predators are learning this, and they're going to those sites specifically for the younger people. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to gain the child's confidence and arrange a face-to-face meeting. And then this has sometimes led to a child traveling to meet the person that they're chatting with, or that person traveling to them to meet up with the child. And then in most cases, there is not an adult that's aware of it. Sometimes the other party is an adult whose intent is to have sex with the child, and that comes from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children as well. Based on a study of 1,500 internet users that range from age 10 to 17, approximately 1 in 7 have received an unwanted sexual solicitation, and this was taken between the years of 1999 and 2000. 4% of those youth were experiencing aggressive solicitation, where the solicitor attempted to contact the child offline. The aggressive part is finding their phone number, calling them, sending them an email. They'll even send people gifts via the postal service. That's considered aggressive. You're aggressively pursuing them to get their trust to eventually meet up with them. And then only 5% of the solicitations were reported to law enforcement, an internet service provider, or an authority. With websites such as, MySpace, Facebook, Twitter, the ones that I have listed previously, the growing popularity of them is vast, and it's made it easier for online pedophiles to contact these. Although some websites such as MySpace are using different measures to up their security levels, it is still an issue going on. And the whole point that is relating to my thesis is this is exactly my thesis. Online enticement is causing the internet to be completely unsafe for younger children. And then the dangers that can get caused by a teenager is a child and teenager uses an online publication as MySpace, and it puts them at greater risk to be preyed upon. The fact is because they become overly trustworthy. And MySpace has your picture, your name, your city you live in, has your birth date, and whatever personal information you care to give out. That's putting your whole life on a single page. What they're recommending is, you tell your child to put it as private or whatever, but children aren't doing this. They're making MySpaces behind their parents' backs, and it's putting them at danger for this. And then some of these facts, one from the Youth Internet Safety Survey, it says about 25% of the youth who have encountered a sexual approach or solicitation have told a parent. That means 75% of those children or teenagers out there that have gotten someone soliciting sex to them have not told a parent or adult. And legal action probably could have been taken upon in most of these cases, but no one's told. It's something that children don't feel the need to tell, or maybe they get a little embarrassed, like they know they're doing something wrong, so they don't tell, but really they should be telling. And then Crimes Against Children Research Center has quoted that 1 in 5 U.S. teenagers who regularly log on the internet say they have received an unwanted sexual solicitation via the web. Solicitations were defined as requests to engage in sexual activities or sexual talk, or to give personal sexual information. And they have the Youth Internet Safety Survey again has quoted that 1 in 33 youth received an aggressive sexual solicitation in the past year. The predator has asked a young person to meet somewhere, called the young person on the phone, sent them a correspondence, money, or gifts to the postal service. And then the Crimes Against Children research have also quoted that 77% of targets for online predators were age 14 or older, and another 22% were 10 to 13. So it's hitting the age range. The 14 and older, I looked into that a little bit more, and it's not to exceed 18. Because 18 becomes legal, it becomes, if you do it with consent, it's okay. The predators are looking for the younger, where it'd be considered statutory rape or other such horrible things if they actually go through with what they have in their mind. And then they did a little more research into the children themselves. It's just typical children going online to talk and have fun with people. 75% of the solicited youth were not troubled. They had no emotional background issues. They were not molested as children. No one was prone to this. It just happens to them. And then 10% didn't use chat rooms, and 9% didn't talk to strangers. So no matter what they're doing, these children are still susceptible. Without the help of the parents, they cannot avoid this on their own. And then only 25% were distressed enough by the encounter of the sexual predator that they actually told a parent or an adult. And then only 17% of youth and 11% of parents, according to the Youth Internet Safety Survey, can name a specific authority that they can tell someone to. They couldn't name the FBI, or there's actually a place called